Welcome back to WRPL. It's the podcast where we talk about all the things we are watching, reading, playing, and listening to. My name's Ben.
And I'm Steve.
How are you holding up, Steve?
Oh, it's cold here on the East Coast.
Yeah, we have been in the path of the terrible, terrible snow that came down. We weren't able to record last week because I probably would have died coming here. So we got chock full of stuff to catch up on. Nick is here as well. He just had a big long weekend in another city, so he doesn't have much to say, but he'll be piping in with his 2 cents every once in a while.
Yeah.
2 cents worthy. There you go.
This is more like a penny's worth. All right, well, start with a roll. 7.
Ew, I'm not doing well this year.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, Nick.
15.
15.
Oh,
see, that would have been mine.
Instead, you get
19.
Ooh, eat it, Steve. Eat it. All right. Well, as always, start with some news. Only got two quick things. R.I.P. Catherine O'Hara dies at 71.
When you do your end of the year, who you wish could be back to life bracket or whatever.
Yeah,
you do.
I think she's got a pretty strong chance.
She's got a strong shot.
That's crazy. 71. That's not that much older than me. I mean, it's still plenty older than me, but I just feel like I'm creeping closer to that than anything.
I wonder if she had stuff to do in Last of Us Season 3.
Probably.
Well, maybe. But
damn.
Not anymore.
I didn't even think
studio.
The studio? Oh, yeah. She wasn't. Fuck.
She's working.
Yeah.
She stayed busy.
That's quite sad.
Yeah.
And then on a lighter note, there's a trailer for Masters of the Universe. What'd you guys think?
Don't care.
I'm not super impressed, but I think it looks better than what my brain was making it.
From a trailer perspective, it looks fine.
Yeah.
It's just I've never been a fan of Masters of the Universe or any of that, lore and stuff. It was before my time when it came out, and it just never really caught up to me, even with like remakes and stuff. So, for anyone who's excited for this,
yeah,
good for you.
Yeah.
But from a just basic trailer perspective, it's like, okay, that's what that is.
Steve, it's got Alison Brie in it. We got to see it.
Okay. Wait, who's Alison Brie?
She's Evil Lynn. No, she's Evil Lynn. She's Skeletor's right-hand woman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Was she in the trailer?
For a second, there's like her and Tila are fighting, and it's like a quick move, real fast. You have to slow it down to notice she's in there.
Fine.
But we got Idris Elba and Kristen Wiig and everyone's favorite Jared Leto. And I'm so glad, they're not really putting his name on it. They're not showing him, before he turns into Skeletor. It's just a skeleton face. I bet they will do everything to not use him to sell this movie.
Now, do you think he's Jared Leto doing what he thinks a skeleton man's voice is going to sound like? Or are they going to pitch it up a little bit?
I think he's going to be yeah, it needs to be that. And I don't think he's going to do that. I think he will go dark and mean and scary. No, it needs to be that cackling, silly voice.
Yeah, well, I think that works in cartoon form. I'm not sure how much it works. Here's this giant monster man with muscles, and it's like, I'm going to beat you up, sir. It's not as imposing.
Yes, Mark Hamill does Skeletor in the Kevin Smith Netflix He-Man show, and I think he finds, a good balance. So hopefully he bases it off that.
We'll see.
All right, well, so I won. I'm going to go first. Lots of stuff. Okay. I'll be quick on this one. There was a new Marvel show released. Wonder Man. I know you guys are behind on all things like Marvel and Star Wars and stuff like that, so I'm sure you guys didn't hop into it.
Well, before you jump in, the show that I said that I watched 2 episodes of is Wonder Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, why did you choose this one over, I don't know, Andor?
Leave me alone. Because, I don't know, I needed 30 minutes to kill, and this was just what was available. And I figured, you know what? We'll see if it's non-superhero-iness will keep me engaged. And Yaya seems like a cool actor.
Mm-hmm.
chick Yaya shit out. And for the first 2 episodes, I was like, this is okay.
Yeah, I really love this show. This is one of my higher ranked Marvel shows and the most superhero show there is. This is not about the origin of a guy who takes up the mantle. This is just a story of a guy who is an actor who has powers. Have you gotten to episode 4 yet?
I said I watched 2 episodes.
Two. Oh, I thought you said a few.
Multiple times.
I thought you said a few episodes.
No.
Okay. Episode 4 is great. And I wish we got more of that with Marvel. Just these standalone kind of silly episodes. It's very funny, but very cool. All in all, I really love this show. Ben Kingsley is great. I love that they constantly talk about how everybody recognizes him as the Mandarin and he just can't shake it.
Wasn't that guy a terrorist?
Yeah, yeah. Everyone's good in it, and the thing I like the most is since it is a show about Hollywood and acting, there are times where it's just them doing a scene of something else. It has nothing to do with the plot except that they're acting against each other, and it's great. It's so fun. Definitely, I gotta let me check my list to see where I put it, but it's definitely high.
The opening scene of the show where he's like, he got booked on the TV show or whatever, and he's like, this guy's got it, he's good, and he just like keeps adding
Yes.
on stuff and keeps building a character that's like, you gotta have like 2 lines in the scene, buddy. Like, let it go.
It's the worst thing about his
it
character.
drove me insane.
Yeah.
It was one of those like, I felt like I was watching The Office again. I was just like, just shut the fuck up. But everything after that, I was like, okay, this isn't bad.
Yeah, he's his worst enemy and he gets in front of himself because he just thinks everything needs a backstory. But I'm also kind of pissed off at the people who work around him and don't say, dude, shut the fuck up. You are nobody in the grand scheme of things. Do your lines or you're fired. But they all just kind of like placate him and then they are shady and fire him, in the background. I think that's annoying. Well, I ranked this just below She-Hulk, but right above Daredevil Born Again. It is my 7th favorite Marvel TV show.
Wait, so what number is She-Hulk?
6.
And you said it's below She-Hulk, above She-Hulk, but
Below She-Hulk, above Daredevil Born Again.
So it's...
Okay, how about I read you the list so you could just understand it better? Was that better for you?
No, I don't care.
Okay. You're next.
So Wonder Man's done. I watched a movie, Oscar-nominated film called Train Dreams.
So did I.
Wow. Okay. Great. So this
Because we also didn't talk. The Oscar nominations are out.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what? I got 2 hours to kill. I'll check this movie out. It's beautifully shot. It's well acted. The ending scene I really, really liked. And I think it is exactly what it set out to be. That being said, it's a movie I would never tell anyone to watch because it is designed sort of to be boring and uneventful.
Yeah.
And that is its point, and I think it succeeds.
Yeah.
It's just the story of a man who lives unremarkable life, who has seen remarkable things and has like been part of like a remarkable thing of like building bridges and stuff, and like part of being in America at these crazy times of just like he never had a phone, but he saw a man go to the moon and all this stuff, and it's just like
what a weird time to be alive.
Yeah, and it's also like a real fucking bummer because the stuff happens in his personal life, and you're just like, they're not going to do that. There's going to be a happy thing here, and there isn't.
Yeah,
and it just kind of ends, but it ends beautifully, and like I said, it's a very lovely movie. Like to look at, it's very well shot. But other than like the filmmaking aspects of it, from a story perspective, it didn't like engage me in any real way. So I'm going to give it a C plus.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. It's completely beautiful and really well shot, but so unsatisfying. Like, you're going to take me through all this, and you're not going to even give me like a proper resolution. This isn't the type of story you tell as a movie, because you usually have like a beginning, middle, and end. And I know that's kind of the point. He's one of the millions of people who, kind of put this country together who don't have a movie based on their life or a book or something. He's just one in a million. But you also have to like satisfy my need for a good story, and it feels like someone had the idea. I know it's based off a book, but someone had that line of hold on to something, and then the montage, and like, damn, that would be fucking sweet to end a movie on that. That's gonna win people over. I guess I gotta make a movie around that.
Yeah.
And it's not enough.
And obviously, once again, kind of the point is like he's not a standout human being.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a bad
No.
person at all. But if he was just a little bit more like likable or charismatic, or had something like I could personally latch onto, other than like he loves his family, then maybe I could have gotten something a little bit more out of it. But any of his like friendships were very more like acquaintances than actual friendships. So that even like those dynamics were just what's the word you used?
Unsatisfying.
Unsatisfying. Yeah.
You're gonna he's gonna find love again, and then he meets Carrie Condon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, then what happens when they do show up? Oh, isn't that drama? Okay, well, neither of those things happen. Hey, this random girl showed up with a broken leg. Is it his daughter? Don't know. He doesn't get to know, so you don't get to know. And it's just so like fucking edging,
Yeah.
You just don't get any sort of nice release until that final phrase.
Yeah. So
I give it a B- because it is a well-made movie that's
Yeah.
well acted, and I like everything about it except like the lack of story.
fair enough.
All right, I watched a really bad movie. We never even talked about what we're talking about today, but regardless, I watched a very, very bad movie called Return to Silent Hill. the third movie in the Silent Hill franchise. And boy,
Is it really just Silent Hill and then Revelations?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was another one in between.
No. And the thing that is so disappointing is this is the same director of the first Silent Hill. The really good, probably best video game movie there is, makes this. And him saying, oh man, I really wanted to make Silent Hill 2, the game, the movie, and then just kind of beefs it and like has a couple of the characters but doesn't get the story 100% right. And it's been forever since I've actually played that game, so I'm not going to complain too much about taking liberties. It's just so ugly and cheap, and like I know the budget was less than that original movie, and we're 20 years past, so that's even less money, but it's like everything looks worse. The nurses look worse, and
A worse nurse?
a worse nurse. Pyramid Head looks terrible, and they show Pyramid Head's face, which is like, you're not supposed to do that.
Do you ever see it in the game?
No, because it's just a manifestation of his guilt, and that's all it is. So when you see his face, it's just him, but it's like, you don't need to do that. I will say there's some fucked up monsters in this that are kind of like interesting. Like there's this weird bed thing with legs. Like there's some kind of interesting ideas, but they all look like shit. And Silent Hill is obsessed with beds. In the first one, it's like the bed comes out with all the razor wire and is killing people. Then there's this weird bed monster in this, and then the woman looks like Vecna, but with a bed as her wings, like she's a butterfly. And like, what the fuck is all this bed shit? But the acting is so atrocious. This dude it's like Riverdale CW acting, but taken really serious. He's so bad. The woman is awful. Everyone is just incredibly cringy. I hated this. Hated it so much.
I just want to see who's in it.
No one. Absolutely no one. You don't know any of these people.
That thing.
Don't say that guy from that thing. You don't know that guy from nothing.
No, he was in Warhorse.
Okay.
The lead of Warhorse.
I think anyone saw Warhorse.
I saw Warhorse. I
He's
like
got
Spielberg.
like a fake beard.
Yeah, his beard looks terrible and his
Yeah.
hair is really ridiculous. And then like the girl plays multiple roles where they
Yeah.
just slap a different wig on her. And it's like they get pretty accurate with the outfits of everybody, but it just stands out as looking ridiculous. And then they do like multiple and the game has multiple endings depending on what you do, and they try to do all of them except for the wacky there's a dog in the control booth ending. But yeah, just really really bad.
I saw a movie you've talked about, but I hadn't seen at the time. I watched Twinless
Oh,
on
okay,
Hulu.
cool.
Um, I kind of like this movie.
It's a good
It's pretty
movie.
solid.
Yeah.
Definitely not exactly the twist I saw. I mean, I kind of saw it coming, but not in the same way. But yeah, like well acted. There's some like really good like fun shots in this, especially when they go to like that sort of they go on that not double date. They go on a date and like he's the third wheel. And they're
Yeah.
going through like this artsy like
Uh-huh.
you know light show kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing, and just I've never like I enjoyed Dylan O'Brien in Maze Runner, and I've seen him in like little things here and there, but I never got his appeal. He's really good in this movie,
Yeah.
and that brings us to another movie we'll talk about later,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought is pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Especially like when he plays his gay twin,
mhm.
you could tell like he's doing some acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue it seems stereotypical, but it was cool.
Sure.
But yeah, I thought he was great. I definitely didn't expect to see the sex scene that I saw early in the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
But there's also I think some like really good writing, especially like I liked the ending and how
Mm-hmm.
that ended.
Yeah,
Um,
you would normally in a different movie this would end with them like fighting on a bridge in the rain and someone goes over the edge, but it's a nice ending that even though
did you see Twinless?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
you know some fucked up stuff happened that they were still able to like kind of overcome it.
Yeah. Because I liked them together, and I liked sort of how different they were, but it like worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, some of my favorite stuff was like at the funeral of his brother, which this wasn't a spoiler, Nick, because it's like the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the movie. But just everyone going up to like, oh my god, you have his face,
Yeah.
like that must be so. I never really thought about that because I've never had a twin. I don't know twins,
Mm.
but like the idea of like you have someone who's so close to you in your life, and then you can just like look across the room and it's like their fucking ghost is there.
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
just because they had a twin, and it's just like that's a person I love, but it's not him. It's gotta
Mm-hmm.
be that's gotta really fuck you up.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a movie in itself right
Mm-hmm.
there. But yeah, I thought this movie was I don't want to say fun, but I had fun with it,
Yeah.
and a good showcase from the writer director slash actor
Yeah.
of this movie. I've never seen any of his other work,
Mm-mm.
but I'd be willing to watch whatever he does next because I
Yeah.
thought this was a pretty solid film. And yeah, I would recommend it to Nick if he wants to watch it. So that's why I'm not spoiling anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to kill an hour and a half, check out Twinless. It's pretty good,
Yeah.
especially if you like Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah. I read a couple of comics. One is called Little Monsters by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. Is that the guy that did Something's Killing the Children?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Maybe it's another comic that I picked up. On one of the backs of it, it said he's one of the creators, so
Oh,
it must
okay.
be something else. Anyhow, it is. I only got the first 6 issues. There's much more to this, so I have to keep reading to see where the story goes. It's about like 6 to 9 little kids who all get bitten at a young age. They're turned into vampires, and now we're like many years into the apocalypse, and I think it was like a COVID sort of thing that killed off humanity, and there's really no humans left, and they all just kind of eat rats and hang out together in New York, and they're waiting for the elders to come back. The old vampires who bit them has told them to just hang tight. We will come and get you. And it's been like 100 years now, and they're still like, we got to do something. I mean, we can't just sit here. And like, no, we got to just sit here. And then one comes across a human. There are survivors in other places, and he's bleeding, and that kid goes nuts and just drinks this guy. Goes back and tell his friends, and then they all get bloodlust and just drink the shit out of this guy. But then one or two of them, they run into this little girl, and they're like, "Oh shit, another kid! That's cool!" And it's their dad that they just killed. So now the group is kind of fractured. Like, no, we don't need to kill people. We could help this girl, and the other ones are like, no, we need to eat her right now because this is so fucking good. Because they've never really had human blood, and they're going crazy for it. And they come across like a settlement of humans, and then they go nuts. A couple of them die. Like, it's just like a really fun, simple vampire story that's only 6 issues, and I blew through it so damn quick. Like, God, I got to get more. But when it's $24 for a trade paperback, it's hard to keep dumping money down. But I'm interested enough that I will pick up the next one.
So you're on like a vampire kick now? You got Night Patrol, you got this. You're a
I'm
big fan of the Twilight
I'm
movies and
I've
books?
just always liked vampires. Actually, not always. I actually used to hate vampires, but then I learned to like vampires. The other one is Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, a book that I've been wanting to read for a long time. It's by Patrick Horvath. He wrote and drew the whole thing. This is his first comic.
I've heard of this.
This is it's like Dexter, but cute fuzzy animals. It's like a world where they're anthropomorphic animals and they're living in a small town. The big cities right down the road, and the main bear lady who owns the hardware store, she's actually a serial killer. And she goes into the city, picks a random person, kills them, chops them up, buries them, just to kind of satiate that sort of
Now, when he cuts
bloodlust.
them up and chops them up, is it like blood or is it like
No, it's
stuff?
gory.
Oh,
No,
okay.
they're not stuffed animals. They're
Okay.
real. The one weird thing about this is like she's a bear wearing clothes, and she puts like the body parts in paint cans and then buries them, and then a real bear shows up and just like, hey, I don't want any trouble, and it's not wearing clothes or anything. Like the detective of the main cop of the
So
town,
can the bear the
real bear.
the can the bear talk to the other
No,
bear? Oh, okay.
it's just a bear and a human. It's just all the humans are also animals. The
Got it.
main cop is a dog, but you see someone has a pet dog at some point. So it's really weird
Yeah,
choice
that's
to
just
include
Goofy and
animals.
Pluto. So
Yeah, I guess, but it's just strange. Yeah, I feel like they want to do it. Well, so she's a serial killer, always kills outside the town because sleepy town, it would raise suspicion. But then someone is murdered and put on display during their like bicentennial or something, and it's freaking everyone out. And she's like, "Oh crap, I gotta go be Dexter, figure out who this is, and put them down because, you know, you don't shit where you eat,
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much." And it is like a 6 issue thing. It's a one and done. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I guess he's doing a sequel that is ongoing now. It's like they have 4 issues out of 6. I don't know how long it takes for him to make it since he's got to write and draw it himself. So I'll wait till that one's done before I start picking that up. But it was nice to pick up something that you could have as a standalone story and not worry about continuing. But it's really good. It's really cute style,
Mm.
but has no problem being absolutely disgusting and violent and really gory. Would make an excellent movie or show. I don't know if you do CG, hand drawn, stop
Would
motion.
it be kind of like what was it called, like the Happy Time Friends or whatever? Weren't they like cute, funny
Oh,
things? That
Tree Friends.
Happy
Happy
Tree
Tree
Friends.
Friends.
That's
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you can go that way, but this is a little more highly detailed. Those are like simple cartoons, and these are like, what if a bear was a real human being and wore clothes and drove a car? So I think you would need a higher level of animation. So I think like stop motion would be really interesting, but I don't know. That's for better people to make. But I really dug it. If you want to read it, I'll let both of you borrow it.
Sure, absolutely.
Cool.
I watched a movie. I guess we'll call it that. I watched Mercy, starring Chris Pratt.
Okay, that's one of our main topics. We'll save that.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
never mind.
skip.
I forgot I said it. Well, then the last thing I had before our two main topics
Okay.
is I finished a book called Project Hail Mary.
Oh,
This book is awesome.
that's what everyone says.
It lived up to the hype. Uh, Probably top 10 books of all time for me.
God damn.
Yeah, I like blew through this book, and blew through it for me is like 2 weeks. But it's quick. It's fast, not fast paced, but it's like well paced. It's funny. I was engaged in the story the whole time, and most of this book is just them talking about like science and the science behind science.
Okay.
And it's not, there's like no real action sequences, but there is like stakes at times, but you're just like so involved in uh, the main character and what he's doing without getting into spoiler territory. But yeah, this book is fucking great.
Mm.
It's satisfying, and like all the stuff before he goes into space is also super interesting. Of like how they're like building the Hail Mary and all the stuff they got to go through as like a human race, and giving like one person like complete and utter like unchecked power, because it's just like, hey, I need China to give me this, I need Russia to give me this, I need America to give me this, don't ask questions. And they're like, okay,
Okay.
because her sole purpose is to save the human race,
Okay.
and pretty much has like blanket power.
Do you know who's playing that person in the movie?
uh it's, I've seen her before, but I think she's like a Swedish
Oh, okay,
actress. I
okay.
don't know her name. um or at least the character in the book is Swedish. I assume she is too. And like she's awesome and badass, and like the things they're doing is crazy. Just like, hey, we need to like, just this is one example. We need to generate a ton of power, but we would need to make like 1 million mirrors or whatever to like
Okay.
generate the heat necessary to like create these things. Like, well, to we would need like 1,000 square miles or 1 million miles to do it. There's no place on earth. It's like, well, the Sahara Desert is like 8 million miles like wide or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know the exact number. So there's like, so they basically cover 30% of the Sahara Desert in just these like giant mirrors to
Damn.
generate power. And
I thought like because it's all sand, it was like we're gonna hit it with a laser and
no,
turn the
it's just
desert
like,
into a mirror.
so it's just like, well, we need to use all these resources to build this massive thing that you can see from space, and to just generate these things like quick. And it's like it'll destroy a lot of, it'll like upset a lot of ecosystems, and then like like they have to put it in Africa. It's like, so if the human race is saved, now Africa is going to be a superpower because they hold like all the world's like energy source or whatever.
Damn.
And then like, it would be like, oh, we need to like delay our like death by like shooting stuff in the ozone. The only way to do that is blowing up like Antarctica, essentially, like slowly over time, and just like melting the polar ice caps
Damn.
to like extend Earth's life. And
So, yeah, why is Earth dying?
the sun is slowly losing energy. Something
Just
is
pull the sunshine. Just go.
something is like draining making the sun dimmer.
Okay.
And you find out quickly what it is,
Okay.
but they don't know how to stop it. So that's why they send him on the mission.
Hmm.
But yeah, this book is fucking great.
Okay.
I had a blast. I highly recommend it to it. Like, if you're a dude who doesn't like reading, this is a perfect like dude book to like get into.
Okay.
It'll make you like feel kind of smart, but like into the character and into like what's going on. It's just a great time.
Well, you got me excited for the movie. I really didn't care much after seeing that trailer, but
Yeah, I would say the trailer definitely does spoil a thing. You would think like, oh, don't do that. But there's like so much they do that like you don't even have a clue of what's
because
going
that
on.
was like the fun thing about The Martian was just like, now what do you do? And like, I'm rationing my potatoes, and this is how I grew a potato, and it's like just the how to is fun enough, and without having to deal with sandstorms and
Yeah,
explosions.
I'd just be interested to see like a lot of it's you get a lot of the science because you're like in his head and he's explaining stuff and it like makes sense.
Hmm.
But like in a movie format where you're trying to condense it into, I assume, like a 2.5 hour movie, like how are you gonna, do you explain everything and kind of just go, science, don't worry about it? Because like
Hmm.
reading like why they're doing these experiments was
Yeah.
also kind of interesting and fun. So to do like, you can't just, I don't want to do like a whole movie of exposition dumps because like we gotta explain the science to the dummies who are watching the
Uh-huh.
movie. But yeah,
But
it's awesome.
when it's just one guy on a spaceship, what else are you gonna do? Have him be silent the whole time? No, you just have him talk to himself and explain the science to us. And like, you just do a simple line of like, it's always helps me think just to think out loud, and then
Well,
he just says it all out
he's
loud.
not by himself.
Oh, okay, rock spider guy, whatever.
But yeah, I
Well,
I
he's by
think
himself for part of it, or does he wake up when he's there?
he pretty much wakes up when he's
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So yeah, I think both of you would really like it.
All right. And I'm excited. Hopefully, if the movie is good, this will maybe be the thing that like makes Lord and Miller better, because it's like they don't get enough recognition. I think they make amazing things, and like when people think of Spider Verse, nobody thinks of Lord and Miller
Mhm.
having anything to do with that. Like they were supposed to do the Solo movie and then got reshot. Like, they did Clone High,
Mitchell's versus the Machines.
Yeah,
Great, but
great movie.
no one thinks of it. Like they're
That's
most known for, I think, like the 21 Jump Street movies,
yeah.
which are, I love those movies, but also they were over a decade ago,
Uh-huh.
and I
But
don't think
people
they've
don't
done.
think of them.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like Last Man on Earth, great show, and it's like their stuff gets canceled or whatever. Hopefully this will elevate them and they get to do more. But speaking of Mitchell's versus the Machines, like I was thinking, like that K-pop Spider Verse, like all Sony things. And the next one that's coming out is Goat, and I know you said that was your like this is gonna bomb or who asked for this or whatever. I'm actually kind of excited to see Goat now
Fair enough.
because they've done nothing but great show, great movie so far.
Okay.
All right. My last thing before we get to our main two topics, I saw Iron Lung, the Markiplier movie. I won't spoil it, Nick, if you're planning to see it, but basic premise based off a video game.
I know nothing about it.
Yeah, Markiplier, big YouTube guy, played this on Twitch, and wanted to turn it into a movie. Got help from the creator of the game, and he helped write it. Pretty much, we went into space, we're on space stations, and then there's a thing called the quiet rapture happen, where planets just disappeared. Where they don't know why it happened. The only people left are the ones who were left on space stations. So we are strapped for resources.
It's the leftovers in space.
Yeah. And the only thing like where we take place is there's a moon that has an ocean of blood. And so they create a submarine to go in and figure out what the fuck is going on. And he just has to follow a map, go to certain locations, and take a picture with a giant like X-ray camera because like a regular camera can't see through blood, so they got to use X-rays.
So they have no idea where the blood has come
No idea.
from. Just they're like, that's a sea of blood.
Sea of blood, and we're going to go in there. And so he's just in the submarine, and he's a convicted criminal. And this is like, hey, if you do this thing, you will get rid of your sentence. And he goes down there and he's floating around taking pictures, and he sees some weird stuff. It is 2 hours and 7 minutes, and that's about a half hour, way too long. There is a lot that you could probably trim just to kind of keep the tension up. Every time you think, ooh, something spooky happened, and then it just goes on and on and on. And like, okay, I'm not spooked anymore. And I'd say the first hour, I wasn't super into this. But the last hour, I was pretty into it. It starts getting fun. It starts getting crazy. This movie holds the record for the most amount of blood ever used on a movie, beating Evil Dead remake.
Wow, okay.
They may have used as much blood, but you see more blood in Evil Dead.
Sure.
So the whole movie takes place in the submarine. There's a few shots outside by the very end, but it is just him talking to people on speakers. That's the whole movie.
It's a one-man show, pretty much?
Pretty much. I mean, he does talk to people saying, like, you gotta get here, or otherwise we're gonna throw you back in prison. And then he's talking to other voices, like, oh, wait, is that in my head?
And Markiplier is the guy?
Markiplier's the guy.
Oh, good for
and you
him.
know what? He does a pretty good job. When he's getting, like, angry and growly, it comes off as better than quiet and contemplative. But for his first go at being the writer, director, star, and editor, it's pretty good.
Okay.
I'd like to say, eat your heart out, Chris Stuckman. But that's not a fair comparison, I don't think. I dug it. I liked it. He just needs to be able to relinquish some of his control to like a professional editor to tighten this up. But all in all, I did really like this. Not the best of the year, but I dug it.
Well, tell me all the spoilers another time.
Sure.
I probably won't watch it.
All right, let's get to our first... what?
I was just seeing if Nick had anything before.
No, Nick don't got shit.
Okay.
Nick is here for support. Let's get to our first of two topics. Like Steve spoiled earlier, we're talking Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
The cop propaganda, AI propaganda, piece of shit, murder mystery. This movie sucks. It's totally watchable. Turn your brain off and just kind of watch the mystery unfold, but it has like the worst messaging. So, Steve, want to give us a quick synopsis of what this movie's about?
Sure. In the I near
Far-flung future of
in the
2027, you
yeah in
know?
the near future, or possibly alternate now future,
Yeah.
AI has replaced like the judge, jury, and executioner, and that's not me going like, oh, that like that's a direct line
Uh-huh.
from the
It's
video of the
it's
show.
not true because she says I can't kill you. The chair will kill you. I just have to release you. So she's not the executioner. So that's a
Sure.
lie.
Uh, but basically, when cops arrest people, they can go into this AI chair courtroom sort of thing, and the AI will determine if you are guilty, and if you can't prove, like, if you can't get down to like 80,
94%.
94% uh, guilty, then you, or yeah, 94% guilty,
Hmm.
then they'll let you go. But
Yeah,
if you can't get it down that low, then
they kill you.
they kill you.
Which doesn't make sense because they say like they do mention 80% threshold, but say you have to get it down to 94%.
Mhm.
So are some people waking up in that chair and they're like 85%? Okay, never mind, get out of here. You're already below 94%. I don't
Maybe.
I don't get that.
So now our main character, played by Chris Pratt, he is a cop who is on trial for the murder of his wife, which he doesn't remember like getting in the chair because he got blackout drunk and went on a bender. And he's like, I don't believe I killed my wife. And the AI is like, well, you got to prove it to me. And you only have an hour and a half to do it with like unlimited AI
Yeah,
resources. And so the next hour and a half is just Chris Pratt in a chair trying to prove his innocence on like screens and like phone
that
calls.
go flying by your face.
Yeah, it's very like imagine uh like a movie like Searching. It's very much in that sort of
Mm-hmm.
vein
Yeah.
uh of just like the entire movie's taking place on other screens essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Searching. I even kind of like Searching too.
Yeah.
We've talked about it on the pod.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, even though this movie is not good, I kind of had a good time.
No.
I did exactly what you said. I turned my brain off and just, I went into this movie. I had no desire to see this movie. I only saw it because I was like, oh, it's something to talk about in the pod. And then
Mm-hmm.
it didn't even matter because we didn't record that week because of the snow. But I was just like, I'll see it. And I went in with like the lowest expectations possible. I think that this movie is kind of below Rebecca Ferguson
Yeah.
and Chris Pratt. And I know people have different opinions on Chris Pratt, but that's beside. But like he has made good stuff, and it just feels like this movie shouldn't be like a major release in theaters.
Yeah. Oh.
This feels like a either direct to DVD movie or direct to streaming
Yeah.
with like lesser known actors. Like if this
Mm-hmm.
was another case of it's a COVID movie where like a new and upcoming filmmaker like had a shot and this is the movie he like could make on a limited budget
Mm-hmm.
because it is kind of a one man show.
Yeah.
Even though
And,
obviously they are like shooting like the girl from True Detective Night Country's in it and she's playing the cop who's like
mm-hmm.
his partner. She's trying to help him and she's flying on like a hover motorcycle or whatever. And I don't know. It just seems like the only reason this movie like kind of works is because it's got like two movie stars in it, but it also just feels like they didn't need to be in this movie,
No.
and it's kind of a waste of Rebecca Ferguson
Yeah.
because Rebecca Ferguson, everything I've seen her in, I think she's great,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you could have gotten any actress to
Yeah.
do this AI thing.
It could have been just like, you know, when you see speech on like on a screen and it's just like the vibra I don't know what to call it, but
The sound wave kind
the
of thing.
sound waves. Yes, it could have just been that. And it would have been fine. You didn't need to have Rebecca Ferguson's strong ass fucking jaw. Like I've never looked at her so straight on the face for so long. That chick's jaw is insane. She's got the strongest jawline I've ever seen. Beautiful.
Other than maybe the one red woman from
from
Wheel of Time.
from Wheel of Time, yes. Yeah.
uh, but yeah, I mean,
When I left this movie, I was like, you know what? It's fine.
yeah,
It is.
I don't
It's
think it's as
just
bad as people are making out to be. I
but
understand the criticisms.
once you start thinking about the movie, though, it is so stupid. It is really, really dumb. Like the technology of the time is this crazy AI judge and one flying motorcycle. There's no hints of any other sort of technology in this world. Very, very strange. Um, my biggest gripe is he's on trial. They haven't even cleared the crime scene yet, and he's already being judged for this? Wait until all the facts are in, then you get to use the AI judge to go through every bit of evidence. They're still clearing the crime scene. He's doing the investigation right then and there. I'm not for an AI judge or a execution after 90 minutes, but you think you would have to be in a holding cell for a little bit before they close the book and say for sure they've done their detective work on it before they put someone on trial. And then if that's part of the corruption of they're just killing people, putting him on this, like, we know someone was framed and he couldn't prove himself.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing. Is like I thought they were going to be like, oh, we'll find the glitch in the system. This will be like a takedown of this thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's not. He clears his name, and then it's kind of like, well, I guess the system works.
He's
It's like
sometimes
no, it
he's like humans make mistakes and sometimes AI judges make mistakes. Like, are we gonna take this all down? No. But you're clear to go. Like, that shouldn't be the message that, well, sometimes AI.
We gotta leave room for a sequel, Ben.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And it's like, if they are using this to just churn through it because crime is so goddamn bad that they have to use this system to get rid of all the undesirables, why is Chris Pratt the 19th person in 2 years to use this thing? If it was 1900, like, yeah, we're doing multiple of these in a day. There are no more of those red zones where all the crazy homeless and criminals are, because this thing is so fucking efficient, we can just knock them out. But 19 in 2 years, that's just like the regular judicial system. Are you only doing them once every 2 months?
Yeah, did all those other people like wait months and months for their trial? And he's the first one to go like, no, we got 24 hours to finish this case up. Like,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then we find out it's his partner is in on the cover-up of the first person because, we got to make sure that this mercy thing works. Okay, why did you have to frame someone to do this? There's plenty of other criminals that you could have used as your first person. Why did you have to do this? You're only setting yourself up to failure. It's all these tiny little things that just make it so... The dude, his AA sponsor, is framing him.
Mm-hmm.
He did... Okay, so Chris Pratt leaves to go to work, realizes he doesn't have his alcohol can, comes back home, beats up his wife or like throws a vase at her, and then leaves again. He comes out of the basement, kills her, and flees. Did he know Chris Pratt was going to come back? Everything kind of rides on Chris Pratt coming back to the house. If he would have just said, fuck, she took my alcohol, and went to the store and got some, and went to work, then he couldn't frame Chris Pratt. His plan is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I could be wrong. The plan could have been like, I'll hide down here, kill his wife, and then no matter whether he's drunk or not, when he comes home, it'll be like...
So he's just waiting for the perfect moment?
No, I'm not saying he's waiting for the perfect moment. I'm just saying, like, it worked out to his benefit at that moment. But, like, I could see a version of it where he kills her, and then when Chris Pratt comes home, it's like, well, of course, it's always the husband. You could just, like, do a movie thing of just, like, well, we don't need to, like, get into details, because it's just, like, well, now Chris Pratt is, like, the prime suspect.
I think that's just shit writing. And
sure.
It doesn't work. So, like, all in all, this is a really bad movie that is poorly written. I don't think Chris Pratt is very good. If this was like...
I think Chris Pratt's fine.
If it was, what's his name? Ben White from Parks and Rec. Adam Scott. I think if it was Adam Scott, it would have been, like, a lot better. He's more believable, I think, than Chris Pratt.
I don't know. Adam Scott was also in Madam Web, and that was fucking trash.
Okay, yeah, sure.
It's not like he was good in it.
No.
I'm just saying, as great as Adam Scott is, I love Adam Scott. He can put it back.
I don't think Chris Pratt was the right choice for this role.
I think I'm more or less into. I didn't hate his performance. The only performance I was just like, man, this is kind of like bad, and maybe it's just the writing. Was the dude she was having an affair with,
Mm.
or like assumed they were having an
Yeah.
affair. Some of his like dialogue towards Chris Pratt, I was like, Jesus fucking
Yeah.
Christ, this is tough to watch.
I forgot about this, but he's working at a hotel, right? A really upscale, fancy hotel where he works in the kitchen,
Yeah, yeah.
the lover. But he tells his partner, you got to get there fast. And like, oh, it's in a red zone. I'll have to take the copper cycle or whatever. And she has to fly there. Why is a fancy hotel in the middle of this, like, demilitarized zone of where all the bad guys are? It's just one of those, like, stupid details that doesn't matter in the long run, but you should kind of think about these things when writing a movie.
Well, I mean, I imagine you come to the city, it's like, yeah, we could spend a ton of money at this fancy hotel in a non-red zone, or we can get a cheap, good deal over at the red
But
zone.
would they have, like, all the chefs and stuff? It seems like that would be, like, they'd serve slop. Anywho, that doesn't matter. It just one of the many little details that kind of constantly was taking me out of this movie. And
I think if this was, like I said, I think if this was an indie film that didn't have major stars in it, and I think you could have, like, we could have given a lot more leeway of just like, yeah, it's not great, but like it's pretty good
sure,
for someone's
but
like
this
first
is
film.
a big Hollywood
But because
production.
big Hollywood production, it's kind of like, this is beneath everyone here.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked up like the director if he's done other work, or maybe he directed Searching for all I fucking know.
I did look it up, but I can't remember.
So I think like if you want to kill an hour and a half, this movie's probably not going to offend you. But if you are a fan of like film and cinema and stuff, be like, wow, this is kind of bad. But I didn't see War of the Worlds. I assume.
Yeah.
Like you could also chalk this movie in with that category.
Sure.
But it's not War of the Worlds.
No, it's definitely a higher caliber than that. I'm pretty sure the director did something.
Oh, it's that guy?
What did he do?
He did, like, he's known for, like, I think more foreign stuff, but, Ben-Hur.
Oh, yeah, the Ben-Hur remake.
Night Watch, I think is his,
That's it.
his most
Night Watch and
famous
Day
film.
Watch. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Russian, I believe.
Is he the guy who directed 9?
I don't think so, but I'm not sure.
He's made a bunch of stuff, but it's all, like, he was a producer on Hardcore Henry. Never mind.
Okay.
Producer, hang on one second.
Yeah,
it
was the Night Watch, Day Watch stuff that I was like, oh, that guy. I wonder what he's been up to. Oh, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. That was one of his. God, there's one other one that I know he did.
He directed Wanted.
Wanted. That's it. That's the thing. That's the ticket.
Yes, Wanted is the movie I know him from.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Abraham Lincoln.
All right, well.
So he's, like, made some okay films.
Yeah, I like the Night Watch, Day Watch movies. They're weird, but they're fun. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, not a very good movie, but it's fun.
Yeah.
No, this was just, I don't know. And I think they gave, like, the information was flying at you so quick. And you're like, what? Okay, I guess I'll take your word for whatever the hell you're saying. What about a bird feeder camera? Whatever, just keep moving.
You know who I think, like, if he still had his faculties, this seems like very much like a Bruce Willis film
Yeah.
of, like, the past 15 years.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, I could see that version.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in 12 Monkeys, he's, tied down to a chair talking to a person on a screen. So that's all the qualification you need. All right, let's get to our main.
So what would you give this?
Oh, I think I gave it a. What did I give it?
D plus.
I gave it a C minus.
That's what I was going to give it.
Because it is just like it's competently made. Like I don't care about any of the like camera, lighting, things like that. Everybody did good enough. The plot makes sense somewhat, but it's not for me. It's definitely my worst of the year. One of my worst of the year. That and Silent Hill.
Fair enough. It's a strong week for you.
Yeah.
Strong 2 weeks.
All right, let's talk about our main topic, the one that everyone's talking about, the big hit of the week, Melania. No one's going to see that shit, but I do have a story about that.
Melania?
About Melania. So I went to go see Send Help, and this woman at the kiosk next to me is like searching, and she can't find what she's doing. And you know how sometimes they don't put a poster, and she's not reading, she's just doing. So I finish all my stuff, and she's like, getting all flustered and like, hey, do you need help? Like, yeah, I can't find my movie. Like, oh, what are you trying to see? Like, Melania. I'm like, well, you're on your own. I just walked off. I'm not helping you find that shit. And then I had to see Send Help in 3D.
You should like pretend like you were looking through the stuff, like, yeah, it must not be playing.
Well, she's like, it's up there. It's up on the market, so she saw that.
Okay.
And so, I had to see Send Help in 3D. It was the only showtime that worked for me because my weekend was going to be kind of weird and I needed to see this before work. And it was the only 3D show. And so I'm going to the manager like, hey, where do I get my glasses? Because, they never have anybody out there. And he's like, oh, yeah, sorry. It's a lot busier than we expected. And I'm like, oh, let me guess. Melania? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, those fucking assholes. And he's like, yeah. And so, he gave me the glasses. And I'm like, oh, just to let you know, they're having trouble finding it on the kiosk because there's no poster. And he's like, mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, fuck him.
You said, yeah, fuck him?
No, I said, yeah, fuck him. He just kind of nodded his head like, yep, I guess that is a thing. But yeah, it was that concession line was very long with a bunch of blue hairs in there. So sad because I was seeing so many around the country of like shows, 1 ticket sold for the entire week, 0 tickets sold, and like a ton of people went to go see it. But it's a shame, but whatever. Send Help, the new Sam Raimi movie. First Sam Raimi horror movie since Drag Me to Hell. The only thing he's done in between was the Wizard of Oz movie. Was it? What was it called? Oz the Great and Powerful, and Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. So it's nice seeing him come back doing horror again. I wasn't the biggest fan of Drag Me to Hell.
This is like barely a horror movie.
Yeah, it's more thriller than anything, but it's got some visceral moments. Yeah. So the story of a woman who has been passed over multiple times for promotion. She gets passed over once more by her shitty boss, and on a work trip where she is given the task to kind of impress him one last chance, they crash their plane and wind up on a deserted island. Oh, I say deserted island, but for all we know, deserted island. Yeah, and then she's like a survivor nut. She read all the books, and he's a yuppie piece of shit who inherited his dad's company, which apparently his dad was supposed to be
Bruce Campbell.
I was like, what? Did they cut that out? But I guess it was just a painting of him or something. I didn't even notice that.
I know. I saw the IMDb trivia.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I'm like, oh man, where was Bruce Campbell? And then normally in every single one of his movies, he puts the car from Evil Dead. But I didn't notice it. There's only a couple of scenes where that could happen, unless she was driving it at the very end.
No, it was in a parking garage in the beginning.
Really? Oh, okay. All right.
I didn't know that was a thing, but according to
yes, all of his Spider-Man movies. Like, I don't know where it is in Oz the Great and Powerful, but he apparently it's there.
It's been a long time since I've seen Oz the Great and
Powerful. Yeah, I think that deserves a rewatch. But
yeah. Especially now with like all the Wicked stuff, it'd be like, is this movie as bad as I remember it?
Yeah.
I don't even remember it being that bad. It was like, meh.
Yeah. It suffered from like a lot of movies where like, well, Lord of the Rings had a huge battle at the end. That's what people are expecting when it comes to fantasy. So like Alice Through the Looking Glass, they needed a big battle. This had a big battle at the end.
There's a big battle at the end of Oz the Great.
Yeah, he like scares them off with fireworks and his big, projected head. But there was like a big army coming to fight him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Anywho. So, Steve, what'd you think of this movie?
I thought it was alright.
Yeah?
I mean, I had a good time for the most part. It was an hour and...
Hour 40
minutes or something like that. So, not super long. I was never bored. I never felt the need to, like, check my watch. This was the second Dylan O'Brien movie I've seen in a week, and I thought he was pretty solid in this.
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams is an actress who, like, I've seen plenty of things that she was in, and I've had zero issue with her.
Yeah.
I think this might be her best performance.
Probably.
Because she really gets, like, a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny seeing her in the beginning, like, just so crazy. Like, I feel like 100% met this person,
Yes.
and it just made me feel icky. And not that
Mm-hmm.
she's like a horrible person, it's just like trying so hard to be liked that
Uh-huh.
it just makes you more unlikable.
Uh-huh.
And also like just close-ups of her mouth covered in tuna fish and
God,
stuff.
it
It's
was
just
so
yeah,
gross.
this movie just oozes Sam Raimi-isms,
Mm-hmm.
literally oozes, and it's just gross. But it's just that classic thing of just like we're gonna take a beautiful person and just give them greasy hair and glasses, and of
Uh-huh.
course they're gonna be disgusting. And then as
She
soon as
doesn't
she
have
gets on the island, I'm
glasses.
like, damn, Rachel McAdams
She
is
doesn't have glasses.
whatever.
But that's the thing you
A
do.
ponytail, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think she had glasses for like a second maybe, and then she took them off
Yeah,
and
I guess
she
when she's on the computer, I think she has them for a second.
yeah. But anyway, but then she gets on the island and you're like, oh yeah, Rachel McAdams is a
Yeah.
beautiful.
Once she like discovers the waterfall,
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh yeah,
like, all
I'd
right.
I'd be okay with being stuck
But
on an island.
yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, Dylan O'Brien is a scumbag. You're like rooting for this dude to like get his comeuppance, and then at the same time, as this movie goes on, you're just like, honestly, it's not that bad.
No,
Like,
I don't think he
in
ever.
comparison to the murderer.
She gets worse. He stays the same. He never really learns to be better. It's all manipulation. You
Sure.
think he's coming around.
But I think that's the part of this movie I really enjoy is like it's going you think it might be going into these tropes of just like are they going to get
Yeah.
together or is he going to learn to like be better or whatever it is and just like nope they're just both like crazy people
Yep.
just in different ways.
Mhm.
She's a kind person who goes crazy. He's a well, he's just not crazy. He's just an asshole.
He's
from
just a
beginning
bad
to end.
person.
But this movie is gross at times. Like Sam Raimi loves vomit. There's a
Uh-huh.
bunch of projectile vomit at one point.
That
Uh,
really got me. Like someone trying to save your life, but are so sick and they want to give you mouth to mouth and they're just puking on you. That was so gross, but funny. Made me laugh really hard.
yeah, this movie is low key funny at times, which is also very Sam
Yeah.
Raimi esque. Honestly, the grossest part of this movie that almost like made me gag was him eating the bug.
Oh my
Was
god.
fucking
That was
disgusting.
gnarly,
It
yeah.
felt like because I see the projectile vomit stuff, and it just seems so cartoony to me that
Yeah.
like it takes me out of it. But him eating, and it, like clearly it was like a CGI bug,
Yeah.
but he like had some sort of thing in his mouth that just like shot this like goop pus out and
Yeah.
stuff. And his like acting of
The
just
face
like,
acting
and then
is
just like
amazing.
gagging and like wanting to throw it up,
Hmm.
just disgusting.
Yeah.
Uh,
But then, like, I think in the middle, or I think I'm sorry, at the extreme was like the boar scene, and like the
Oh,
blood
yeah.
is just cartoon levels of spraying, and then it's also squirting out snot out of its nose at the same time. Like, that's a bit much.
yeah. So that's always my problem with Sam Raimi movies. It's just like he's very good at like making a good film and then having scenes that just like take me out.
Yeah, like
Uh,
the ghost girlfriend.
ridiculous.
I hated that so much.
It seems like that's a scene from an Evil Dead movie.
Yeah.
Why is it in here?
Yeah.
And it's like I know he's the guy who does Evil Dead,
But not every
it's like
movie
the
is Evil
only
Dead.
opportunity. Like a dream sequence is the only opportunity
Yeah.
to do that.
But it could have been handled so much better.
Yeah.
It's really cheap jump scare.
I think at the beginning where it's just like she hears the voice and you see this like ring-esque
Yeah.
girl crawling out of the ocean
Yeah.
and like walking towards her in
That's
the
great.
shadow, like all that is like very effective
Yeah.
and scary. And then it just goes to like
Yeah.
and it's just silly. And yeah, I just think like it's not even that it's like tonally necessarily out of place because it is a quote unquote horror movie, but it just feels like you take the Raimi-isms out of it. I think it's more like of a solid, like it feels more cohesive that
Mhm.
way because you just have these like big cartoony moments of just like, well, we got to have a bunch of blood. It's like I feel like you could have leaned more into some horror aspects without making it like silly.
Mm-hmm.
But that's always been, I think, his problem. But it's also been the thing that's made him super successful because that's
Yeah.
his like stick. But I think like that works in the Evil Dead movies. It doesn't necessarily work here.
Yeah.
But I've talked long enough. You say some stuff.
I really like this movie. I had a fun time with it. Like you said, I wasn't checking my watch. I you kind of know the beats that you're gonna get until we get the big reveal that
Yeah,
there's
same.
a.
I was gonna say same with the end, but whatever.
I mean, it's spoilers.
That's honestly, I honestly didn't see it coming.
Didn't see it coming,
And
and
when
I should have. Was like, yes. Well, how does a knife
my
wash up?
theater, I don't know how your theater was. My theater was packed.
Oh, okay.
Like I got like one seat by myself next to a stranger, which I haven't had to do in ages.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, it was a smaller theater, but like
Mm-hmm.
every row had people in it, and man, when the camera not panned over, but cut to the big house on the cliffside,
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Like even I was like, "Oh my god!" Of course,
I didn't see it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
I just assumed she was saying, don't go on that side of the island because that's where I saw the boat. And if there are
Yep.
boat tours, they're going to be on that side.
That's what I thought too, and
Yeah.
that's like such a smart. Like
Uh-huh.
you just need this one little thing. It's like, okay, I need to give an excuse not to go there. Boats, but really, the answer to all of our problems is actually right over there. But like her going, oh, I found this knife on the beach. I assumed it was a knife from the plane.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't think that was like it's an interesting looking knife, but it's like it's a
Yeah. It's a
private
fancy plane.
It's a
They
fancy plane to have,
they
have a
would
fancy-
cut slabs of beef
Yeah.
on that plane.
I never
for you.
thought for a second. It's like you didn't wonder where I got this knife from. It's
Yeah,
like as the audience, I
Yeah.
didn't question it one bit.
I think in hindsight, maybe they should have had more things wash up. You know, like one of the bodies, a fuselage.
I guess a metal knife wouldn't wash up.
Wouldn't really wash up, but like
it could have been in a
stuck
thing.
in a thing. Yeah, like oh, here's a suitcase, and oh, we finally got to change
Half
of
the
clothes.
plane blew off, and all this stuff was flying at super high speed.
Or yeah, it's just like it was in a bag or connected. The case that it was in was just really light plastic, so it floated. And,
Yeah.
we didn't really need the potato peeler, so I kept a knife. I wish that's one of the things I love in Castaway is just like him going through the packages and figuring out what he can and can't use. And so I do think if they washed up on the shore, maybe someone's suitcase would have as well. But minor nitpick.
Let's go back to the plane sequence
Mhm.
real quick. This is one of my favorite bits in the movie. Like everyone in my theater was laughing pretty hard when the guy gets like sucked out, but his necktie gets caught in the plane, so he's
Yeah.
like hanging outside getting choked
Uh-huh.
while his like bloody face is getting smashed against the
Yep.
window, and she just goes and just closes it on him.
Yes.
Really funny. That guy's teeth getting knocked out.
Yeah.
It was just
It's like,
disgusting.
dude,
But it's like,
take
I don't even-
care of your teeth, man. They knocked out way too easily.
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't even sure what he was getting hit with that was like, knocking him out. I thought there was one point where like all this glass shatters and I thought it was gonna like come back like that dude who like flew back and hit his head.
Mhm.
I thought it was just gonna like impale him with like, glass and cut him up, but it didn't really do anything. It all just get sucked out. I'd be interested to see like how the fuck did Dylan. I mean, I guess he just had the floaty thing.
He was in his chair with his floating device, and she was in her chair. Those are the people that survived.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But like, the chair would have to get loose, float up, and then get washed up without drowning. But
well, I mean, I guess he would get out of his chair, but we never see him like struggle. We just only see from her perspective.
But no, like when the plane is going down, he's knocked out.
Is he?
I believe so. Yeah.
I don't remember seeing him getting knocked out, but you could be right.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. You need
matter.
them to get on an island, and that's how it is.
Yeah, seeing her do all the work, I also really liked. It does the movie thing of just like, oh, here she is. She's got books on her shelf that says this, and she's into Survivor, which like, yeah, like if you're into those things, you would probably watch Survivor, but like watching Survivor doesn't make you a survival expert.
No, but like they do have to make their own fire, and they have to make their own shelter. They can kill the animals.
But we also do see like, I mean, I'm not like nitpicking it. I'm just saying like, we do see a photo of her like in like the Grand Canyon or whatever. Or,
she
like,
does this.
Like she does it regularly without ever actually showing it.
In some movies, you would just pan over that stuff and never reference it. Yeah. You would just be a thing of this is what she's into, and it's going to come into use later. It's an actual like important part of her character in this. So they putting in her audition tape to Survivor. They're making it just more apparent, and I'm glad it just wasn't one of those things like you pass by the book. This is Taekwondo, and then suddenly they're doing martial arts. And
stuff. Yeah. Let's see what else. If I was gonna get like, what pissed me off is about Dylan O'Brien. It's like I get like you're an asshole, you're a millionaire, son of a millionaire, whatever. You're in charge of this big company, and here's your like underling. But it's like, dude, she saved your life,
Yeah.
and she's like doing all this shit, and why you can't because you're like, all you have to do is like be nice a little bit, and it was driving me crazy. Just like, there's no like, I get some people are just rude in general. I
Yeah.
can't imagine a situation where like my life is in the hands of another person. I'm gonna go, hey, you stupid fucking bitch,
Yeah.
don't kill that boy because I'm hungry or whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's like,
Make a better signal flare, and like, shut up, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, and those people need to learn their lesson. But like, did you really need to poison her to get your shitty little raft out there? And
I feel like you could have just let her fall asleep and done the same thing.
probably done the same thing. And you're gonna leave at nighttime on the ocean? Are you a?
Why do you leave when it's calmer? Maybe it's calmer at night.
Maybe, but like, the thought of being in the middle of the ocean is the scariest thing in the world to me. And I'm glad I'm backed up when they say if you get on an island, you stay there no matter what. Your chances of being found is even smaller on the open sea. I'm like, what an idiot! What an absolute moron!
That being said, you never hear about anyone being found on a deserted island anymore.
Because
like,
we don't have
only
deserted
find
islands.
people out in the ocean.
It's true, but because we don't have deserted islands anymore.
Right.
With our mapping and our satellites and stuff, there isn't anything we haven't found.
Well, I mean, they might know of its existence, but like where it is in relationship to the ship. But like, if they found the ship, there's an island 2 miles away.
You can
How
see
can they
it.
not find them?
Exactly.
But whatever. That's a nitpick.
Yeah.
Now if we saw that like a helicopter land, or not even land, but like go by or something like that, or like 2 days in,
Mm-hmm.
but like you do some movie thing where like, oh no, they cleared the area or whatever, they didn't find him. But I mean, I guess they kind of write it off with like when his fiance shows up and like they searched this area, but they gave up. But I wanted to search again,
Yeah.
and here you are, or whatever.
And it's like, okay, I understand if they're calling off the search in that area, but was the fiance, was she on the boat the first time?
No, I think
Okay.
that boat we see the first time
Was just part of the house.
was part of the house. Was the
Okay.
guys going to the house to like clean
But,
it
like,
or whatever.
She chartered a boat to an island. Like, how do you not radio back and go, hey, did we check this goddamn island? It just seems a little ridiculous. But when
It
it
has to
comes
be close enough to another island
to take that little boat
take that
out.
little, like,
yeah.
it's not a massive thing that like goes across
Yeah.
the ocean.
And then, but when they're up on the mountain, they're looking around. They're like, nothing for miles.
Yeah, but they
Really?
also say like, well, she says there's islands all over the place,
Sure.
but you never see any other
Yeah.
islands.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess there could be some like, I don't know, 80 miles out that like you
don't
wouldn't
know.
see with your bare eye. But I
But
feel
the
like,
boat has enough gas to get to it. I don't know.
I
don't know.
don't know enough about boats
Yeah.
and islands and distances.
And so, what did she do? So they get to the house at the very end. She kills him. Does she just clean it up and dispose of the body in a different way? They say they found her on the ocean. So why? I know she wanted to stay on the island with him, but if she kills him, she doesn't need to stay on the island anymore. But they didn't find her because she made a phone call on the house or anything. They said they found her floating on a raft. Like, so she risked it to get saved?
Well, I think at this point we were to understand that like she's crafty enough where she knew how to build a raft that would survive.
Sure. But if she needed to survive, if she was truly, truly wanting to get back, there's people who live in that house. Make a phone call.
I think my guess is like, well, clearly multiple bodies are buried on this island. That like if they were just like, oh, I'm here, like this is where I've been staying. Everyone else is dead. And they never like I was the only survivor from the plane crash. They might go like, well, even if you are a survivalist, there might have been evidence, or she might have been worried that they could like find the bodies. But it's like if they find her on the ocean, they don't know what island to look at.
But if she's in the middle of the ocean, how did she make a raft? She had to have been on an island to make a raft to get back on the ocean.
That is true.
It's like, unless it was an inflatable raft that she somehow found in the house, and then,
Sure.
It's like...
Or, I mean, I guess you could have, I was on an island, I built a raft, but I don't remember, like, what island it, like, I couldn't tell you where it was. You could write
I think there's just holes there. I think, if anything, you hide those bodies pretty well. Like you
Or
could
you could put them on your raft and push them out in the middle of the ocean.
yeah. The boat that they had, the dude showed up on. You throw their bodies on there and you push it out to sea, and you say nobody ever showed up. And then Dylan O'Brien, his body could just be tossed in the ocean because he was on the plane crash. And then you just make the phone call of like, yeah, I've been living here for a while. Had no idea there was a house on here. And then I made a phone call. I don't know. It just, her being found on the ocean just seems like a
I didn't even
bad
remember
way.
them saying found in the ocean.
Yeah.
I just assumed they found her on the island.
No.
Let's see.
Okay, so we were talking about gross stuff, and they're like fighting, and he puts his thumb into her eye socket. Oh my god, that was gnarly.
That was gnarly.
I'm surprised she didn't have like any sort of damage.
He ripped a chunk. He like scalped her.
Oh yeah,
and it looked so painful.
Yeah,
that was gross.
Yeah, how does she explain that? Huh? How does she explain a scalp head? And yeah,
she got it caught.
That guy has like no.
It happened in the plane crash.
She said like she turned off the security and everything, and probably deleted the footage of them fighting in the house. But like she had to do a lot of work to cover her tracks to just easily say, "This guy was after me. I had to kill him. Let me make a phone call."
I don't know enough about rich people, and it could just be like I want it prepared at all times. But from the context of the movie, I could assume like that billionaire wasn't there from the time they landed to the time they left. But he had guys regularly go in and like restock the fruit on the table.
Yeah,
and like it's such a tiny thing that like doesn't matter. But I was like, shouldn't they be like throwing that out? Or are they just keeping it there in case he decides to show up next weekend?
I don't know.
I guess could be a thing.
That could
it's not
be.
like fruit is expensive for a billionaire.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things like, dude, just don't have...
You're going to attract flies, you know? But I hear things of like rich people of like, oh yeah, I take care of the pets of these people, and I have to go to their winter homes and, you know, swap out their flowers for them. They don't show up 9 months out of here, but they keep it freshly stocked with flowers just in case.
Yeah, I mean, I can buy it. It just seems like
that's an insane thing. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I had a good time. I do wish we saw his death. You know, I think the cut to golf was,
especially since we saw so much like violent stuff already. It seems like it would just make sense to see his face get crushed in. And when they were in that room and she had the shotgun and I saw the golf clubs behind him, I was like, someone's getting killed with the golf club. Because they've been talking about golf this whole time. It would be very poetic.
Yeah.
And just the like shot of her swinging and cutting to her playing golf.
Yeah.
When he's like at the beginning of the movie, like, well, I need someone to play golf with who should be vice president. It's like, that's what vice presidents do. It's like, oh.
Maybe it's just, you know, we watched Dylan O'Brien this whole time, and even though he's a piece of shit, we do like him. And maybe seeing his fucked up face after a golf swing is a little tacky, maybe. To show.
But, I mean, I do like that they tried to humanize him with, like, at one point in the movie, she makes prison or toilet wine, not in a toilet, but that's, you know, just basically the same thing. And they kind of reveal their backstories to each other, where, you know, his grandfather was a piece of shit to his mom, and his mom married a piece of shit, and they're pieces of shit to him, so he's been a piece of shit his whole life, and just like a series of traumatic pieces of shit just keep making pieces of shit, who just also happen to have money. So you're kind of like, okay, at least there's like a human element there. Like it explains quite a bit. And then you get her backstory of just like, oh, I was married and my husband did awful, terrible things to me and was a drinker. And so like I gave him the keys and he died that night.
Yeah.
Now maybe she like did something to the last drink she gave him.
Could be.
To like get her out of that situation. But I like that reveal too. It's just like, oh, so this, you know, quote unquote innocent woman may or may not be innocent. Like it doesn't say it, but she may have killed before.
Maybe, yeah. Or maybe because he went and drank and drove, he killed someone else in that accident. You know, she would be kind of responsible if he hit another car and killed those people. For all we know, he ran into a tree and died.
I think that's what it's supposed to be.
We're supposed to...
Otherwise, I feel like she would have mentioned it.
Yeah. Or, like, I thought they were going to bring it up, and that would be her bigger guilt is, I just wanted him to suffer, and I got someone else
Yeah, but
killed.
what reason would she have to have guilt in the context of the movie?
Yeah, I know. I was just like thinking ahead while I was watching,
Yeah, yeah.
thinking it was going to happen. But yeah, it doesn't really make sense for it to happen, but I thought they would.
What did you think about her? Like when his fiance shows up with the guy from the boat, and she's like dangling off the cliff, and then she's there, and it like cuts away, doesn't show her kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any part of you like maybe they're not dead?
No, because where are they then?
Well, sure, but it could have just been like I could have knocked them out, I could have tied them up because I don't want to murder them.
Mm,
Because sometimes it's like, oh, it cuts away for a purpose, where it's just like it makes you think that of course she killed them because otherwise they would where would they have
yeah,
gone? But then it actually reveals like she threw him back on the boat and pushed out in the middle of the ocean or something because she
yeah,
didn't want to be a killer. But
yeah.
no, she just
But
straight
she
up,
had to, because even if she lied and said your husband died on the plane, but I want to stay, leave me alone, the fiance would report back to someone. Someone else would show up again and then prove that she's a liar. Like it raises too many questions. She had to kill them if she wanted to keep that shit going.
yeah,
But she really should have ran back and went, oh my God, where we were saved. They showed up, and just kind of own up to like, and then they just fell,
yeah,
But then the boat's there. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I think it seems like I get she wants to stay on the island because I mean, I think I got it. I don't know if the movie necessarily made it so clear. Um, it kind of just seems like sometimes it felt like she wanted to stay on the island because like this is where
She
she
thrives.
thrives. This
And
is
she does have a crush on him, and maybe time will
sure, but
make him.
and that's my thing. It's like, is she keeping him here because she has to in order to get the VP thing, or is she keeping him here more because
She wants to bang him.
she wants them to be a thing?
Yes.
Like this is the romance novel I've always read, or whatever. Not
That's
that
what
she, yeah. Okay, so you think it has less to do with the VP thing, more with
No, I don't think she gives a shit about that anymore.
okay,
Like she kind of resolved when she deleted her project when she was still on the plane. I think if that they landed and however it went, she would have found a new job. She would have quit. She saw how bad they were. There was no getting that position. That's why she deleted her file. And it just so happens they also got into a plane crash. I don't think she cares about that at all.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that scene where she's like, it's a callback. And she's like, "Well, what are you gonna do for me?" Or like,
Yeah.
how above and beyond are you gonna go for me?" And he's like, fucking like
Okay.
goes to unzip his pants. She's like, Jesus Christ, no, I was just kidding.
And then we get a hard candy scene where she pretends to cut his fucking balls off,
Oh yeah,
and then it's just a rat.
I pretty much didn't believe it at all because like she's not actually doing it, and then it like actually shot blood in his face. I was like, oh wait, maybe she
Maybe
is
she
doing
is
it.
doing that, yeah.
But that was a real fun acting from Dylan O'Brien, who can
Yeah.
just go.
Yeah, he does some really great face acting of like smiling, and then when she's not looking, like just like chewing food and having absolute disgust for her, but trying to hide it. He does a really good job in this.
Mhm. Yeah, I like Dylan O'Brien. I want to see him in more stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Didn't he get run over? Like making the final Maze Runner, didn't he fall off
Yeah.
a car and it ran over
Yeah,
him?
he got really hurt, and I think it delayed production
Yeah.
for a bit.
I mean, he can bounce back pretty okay.
Yeah, man.
Hollywood surgeons, my God.
Did you ever see that American Assassin movie he
No.
did? Okay, neither did I.
No. But I was looking up something, it was an American something. And there's so many movies that are just American blank.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a fun podcast of just reviewing all movies that are American something.
The American something podcast.
Yeah, American Sniper, American
Hustle.
Pie. Yeah.
Oh, so each episode is a different
Is
American
a different
okay.
American something. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. I'm gonna give Send Help a B. I don't think it's like necessarily a game changer or a must watch.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want an entertaining beach movie that is, Mercy meets Castaway, it's pretty
Misery, not mercy.
Jesus Christ.
AI judges on an island.
Yeah.
That's how this meets that.
There you go. Yeah, I think this is pretty chill watch to watch. I can't form sentences right now.
Well, I gave it a B plus. I had a really good time. Not a lot of complaints besides some silly CG effects. It's good, but yeah, it doesn't break the mold. So what are we doing next week?
We review our completed playthrough of Dispatch.
Maybe, yeah, we could do that. That means we'd have to.
No, we would have to crank
We
it
would
out.
have to play a lot tonight and then a bunch before we start recording. Next week is that Dracula movie, that Luc Besson Dracula movie. That looks terrible. A movie called Solo Mio with the dude from King of Queens. And then Strangers Chapter 3, which I've seen no ads for, and I can't believe it's even coming out. I swore there was something more
Yeah,
than
I don't
that.
know what any of these are.
Still Hope? Oh, that's a Fathom event, so I don't know what that is.
Oh, we can
Stray
watch.
Kids? What is Stray Kids? So, yeah.
All right, tune in for it's the Lord of the Rings 25th anniversary showings on Fathom Events this past 2 weeks. Tune in next week for our full review of all of the Lord of the Rings extended editions.
I thought it was Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. But that's the week after with Wuthering Heights and Goat. So
Wuthering Heights. I feel like Wuthering Heights isn't supposed to be out for another 4 months. But
no, it's a Valentine's Day movie. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe next week is a This Meets That or Make Me Watch or something.
Yeah. We've got options.
We do. All right. Well, if you want to get in contact with us, we are at WRPLpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. As always, I'm Ben.
And I'm Steve.
And I'd say bye to Nick, but he left the room.
Thanks, Nick, for coming.
Thanks for coming and not adding anything to this. Keep consuming.